Thank you for watching. We are Boys on Film. Raj is here.
Hey Phil.
And we are checking out a movie today, Call Me By Your Name.
Call me by your name and I'll call you by mine.
Yes, it's absolutely incredible. I've seen it twice.
And you've read the book.
I'm a little overly obsessed with this whole thing right now.
That's fandom.
I'm absolutely loving it.
So we've already told you whether we like it or not. We both really love this movie. From the offset, we have to say that we loved it.
Could you tell in the theater when I saw it with you?
Yeah.
I was really trying hard not to cry.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to Phil see me cry. But I was blubbering inside.
We saw it at the London Film Festival, and it was a packed cinema auditorium as well. There were so many people that loved it at the end. You could just tell, just from the atmosphere of the place, that people really understood it.
Yeah, if I didn't see any film at London Film Festival, that would have been fine. I just needed to see this film.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't care. If I didn't want to even risk not getting a ticket, even though we could have gotten a ticket just fine from being pressed. But I didn't want to risk it. I was like, no, we're buying tickets because I have to see this movie.
Yeah. I didn't know anything about it before we went in.
I forced Phil to go, basically.
And I'm glad you did. I'm really glad you did. But it's got great reviews. The people that have seen it already, I think it's 98% on Rotten Tomatoes already. So it's set in Italy in the summer of 1983. It's about a 17-year-old
Elio.
He's at home with his family and he's introduced to Armie Hammer, or the character that Armie Hammer plays, who is Oliver. And again, I didn't know Armie Hammer either. You've introduced me to him too, so...
Yeah, like I said, I forced Phil to go to this movie, and I'm an Armie Hammer fan. I mean, for any other reason, he's just a nice piece of beefcake to look at. He's great to slap up on a poster, and then...
Bit of eye candy, isn't it?
Yeah. So when they announced this movie, and when they saw the trailer, I was like, oh, Armie Hammer's doing something a little bit more than just being Armie Hammer. He's actually
playing a gay role.
Yeah, he's actually widening his film horizons, and the trailer just was stunning. I was like, oh my god, I have to see that movie. And then when it was announced at London Film Festival, I was like, no, we're going. I don't care. I don't care if I have to see the movie by myself.
Yeah. I'm
going, and I made Phil go, and we left the theater. I left the theater at least pretty entranced. What were you feeling after you left the theater?
It was a 2.25 hour movie.
It's a long movie.
Which for some people they would probably be a bit restless and shuffle in their seat a few times and be a bit uncomfortable. But I didn't even realise that 2.25 hours had gone. It was that engrossing. It was a story that I think you can really relate to and you're charmed by. I thought the performances were just amazing.
Yeah.
And everybody in that movie I thought was great. I don't think there were any weak spots. I don't think there were any flaws.
Spoiler alert, it is a gay movie.
Yeah.
It's about two gay characters.
A love story, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's a total love story. And what I found very interesting about the whole concept is there's not the threat of, ooh, someone in my family is going to find out. There's no like, oh no, I'm going to have sex and get AIDS.
Yeah.
Even though it's set in the 80s. And there's no, ooh, people are going to judge me. It's literally about two people who fall in love.
That is one of the reasons I loved it as well, because it was very optimistic and very bright. And the cinematography obviously really reflects that too. It just looks beautiful to watch.
It's so lush. I mean... LUCA the director just absolutely captured the spirit of 1980s Italy and that time. And if you like Brokeback Mountain, this is kind of like a much more optimistic version of Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah. Less drama. Well, actually, there is a bit of drama in there.
There is some drama. I mean, it wouldn't be a film if there wasn't drama. But some of the scenes are just so uniquely done and different and unexpected. Even the infamous peach scene.
I know. It is a bit of an American Pie scene, isn't it? That scene with the peach.
Well, the director even said that film was unfilmable. Like, how can you do it? And so the only way he was able to film that scene is try to practice it himself and see if it was filmable, and he did.
And I think the sounds really made that effective too, those squelching noises.
I mean, we talk about it in a funny, humorous way, the peach scene, because when you talk about it, it is quite funny. Spoiler alert, he sort of gets off with a peach, Elio, and thinking about Oliver. But it's just done in a funny way that's lighthearted, and you've never seen anything like it, and it makes you laugh.
And makes you cry.
Yeah.
It didn't make me cry, but I wasn't not moved by it. I was moved, but That last scene, can we talk about that last scene? Because you really loved the last moment that was captured, and a lot of people that reviewed it I've seen online really love that closing moment. It's a really kind of unusual way of closing the film.
This film at the end, I'm sorry for spoilers, but the film's out, so if you wanted to see our opinion on it, you're going to get some spoilers. Spoiler alert, turn away now, but spoilers are coming. So there's two scenes at the very end which just smack you so hard emotionally that you're not expecting. So can we first talk about the father scene?
So, that for me was the most powerful moment, I thought.
So setting this up, it's not a happy ending. It's not, two people living together for the rest of their life in eternity, blah, 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 happy roses. It's not. They go away. They go away from each other. And after Oliver leaves Elio to go back to his life in America, Elio sits down with his father just to have a chat. And the chat is basically about the father knows, the father accepts what's happened and says they had a beautiful friendship, and the father kind of admits that he himself might be gay, but he never acted upon it, which to me was totally I wasn't expecting that at all.
No.
Second of all, and the way that film, it's completely lifted. That scene is completely lifted right out of the book, word for word. And you're just like, would that actually ever happen? Would there be a father that would be so accepting of this? And even Oliver's father said it. He would lock him up in an institution.
Yeah.
But Elio's father accepts it and just lays emotionally on the line what his whole thoughts are and how he accepts his son. And it's all about life. It's about living life and falling in love and how you'd be stupid enough not to embrace it.
And not to waste time, and also just to embrace life for what it is.
Yeah.
For what life throws at you.
So that's scene number one where I'm like, whoa, crying, like, and it hits you. And then...
It's the performances, though, isn't it? And it's the subtlety. It's the fact that the directors, who I'd say is LUCA Guadagnino.
I'm not even going to try that.
I knew I get it wrong. He just directs the film so poignantly, but really powerfully. And I thought he did a brilliant job.
And then can we talk about the closing credit scene as well?
Yeah. See, that didn't work for me. I thought it could have been more powerful if it hadn't just been the shot of Timothée Chalamet in tears at the end, obviously following the storyline.
So the credits roll, and basically Elio, and some time goes by, and Elio is quite, he's gone on with his life a little bit, and then he gets a call from Oliver. The family gets a call from Oliver, who stayed at his house. That's where the romance blossoms, etc. We're sort of shifting time back and forth, but in the end, it's just a shot of Elio in front of the fireplace crying after he hears some bad news about what's happened with Oliver. And it's just one shot of him. It's quite a long shot.
It's a lingering shot,
And you just see the emotional breakdown of, like, I've accepted this, but actually I've heard his voice again, and now, like, I'm falling apart inside.
And the credits roll.
And the credits roll through the whole time. And when we saw the film, we left a little bit earlier than when we should have. When I saw the film for the second time, I actually watched the whole thing.
See, I think that's why it didn't work for me, because people were getting out of their seats and they were leaving, and it spoilt the power for me. It spoilt that.
But you see the whole change in emotions, just the many emotions running through his face in the very end, which for me is quite powerful. And I started crying again.
No, I did overall. I would give it 4 stars. You'd probably give it 5, wouldn't you?
It's definitely 5 for me.
Flawless.
If this doesn't get an Oscar nomination for Best Picture this year, I'm really going to be upset.
It really should. It really should.
If it won Best Picture, I would probably throw a party, because I think it's well deserving of a Best Picture. But they'll probably give it to something like Dunkirk or something.
Yeah, the obvious choice, I guess. Can we talk about the music? Sufjan Stevens.
Absolutely.
I think that's how you pronounce his name. I didn't really know much about him. My partner knows him really well and has bought lots of his albums. But his music in this movie is just so fitting. It's perfect. It's the perfect soundtrack, I think, because it's really kind of, I was going to say folky. It is kind of like acoustic guitar and his really
with slight
beautiful
electronica
voice.
elements.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just think it worked. I think it worked with the visuals.
Was this the first time that he had scored a film? I think it was.
I think it might be, yeah.
Yeah. And then if you're a fan of the 80s too, there's Psychedelic Furs,
right.
Off My Way,
yeah.
which they play that song twice in the film actually. So I'm kind of curious why that song was chosen. Out of all the 80s songs that could appear in a movie, the director or the writer must really seem to like the Psychedelic Furs.
There must be a reason out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got to investigate.
Yeah.
So 5 stars for you.
5 stars from me. I read the book. See, you can see my tattered copy of it. Literally, I read it in like 3 days.
Well thumbed.
Yeah, but if you want to know a little bit more about what happens in Call Me by Your Name, I suggest reading the book. It's very true to the book, but there's a few. As with any adaptation, there's a few things that aren't told in the movie that are told in the book. I actually heard there's a 4-hour cut of this movie. I want to see that. Please put this on Blu-ray because I want to see that 4-hour.
That's how much of a fan
cut.
You are.
But more spoilers. Sorry, turn away now. But the father dies. Yeah. So basically, at the end of the movie, it stops. But the book tells you what happens after the movie.
I guess we all die.
Yeah.
He says on a cheery note at the end of the video.
Yeah, but the father dies, and so again, for me, I'm picturing it mentally in my mind, and the father dying after he gives the poignant speech.
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah, and then actually, Oliver and Elio visit each other quite a few times after the movie ends.
That's interesting because I didn't think that would be the end.
Yeah.
The end of their friendship relationship.
And it
whatever
does kind of do the
end.
fast forward 20 years thing, so
Yeah.
where Elio is in his 30s and Oliver in his 40s, and they always ask the question, what if, and it's just a special thing between these two people who have gone their separate ways in life. But
I love that. I was frantically trying to find the Blu-ray Suspiria, because I should mention, because we saw the Q&A with the director afterwards, and he's just finished, I think they're in post-production now, the remake of Suspiria, the Dario Argento movie, which is one of my favourite horror films. You've not seen it yet.
I've not seen it yet,
so
but
you need to borrow this.
I'm going to steal that Blu-ray.
Yeah, it's so vivid, and I really hope Tilda Swinton's in the new rework. I'm not a massive fan of rework. Well, the reworked horror films that I have seen, Carrie, Psycho, I really hate.
The really Hollywood stylized ones.
I really hate them because they don't feel like. I mean, I know Psycho obviously was frame for frame exactly the same, but it just wasn't the great movie that the original was. But I'm really hoping that he does it justice, and I'm sure he will because he's obviously got a great cast and he's a great director. So
that's interesting. So he's going from a very sort of Academy Award winning type style of filmmaking to the horror genre.
Yeah, and it is a really hard hitting horror too. I mean, I'm not saying it's specifically torture, but it's certainly not torture porn. But it's quite gory, the original. But it's really arty.
This is what this film does to you. If you didn't know anything about it, you're going to fall in love with Timothée Chalamet. You're going to fall in love with Armie Hammer. You're going to fall in love with the director Luca. You're just going to fall in love with everything. And now I want to know everything about this Suspiria film that Phil is telling me all about. So just go see the movie. It's out right now. You'll obsess over it as much as I. Well, maybe not as much as I.
I don't think anyone could.
But it's definitely worth seeing. It's kind of one of those weekend, it's raining outside, get lost in emotion sort of
totally.
movies.
I would agree with you. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to check us out online, eqmusicblog.com and philmarriott.net, and we will be back for another video to review more movies and TV shows soon.
See you next time.